fracking, then he said he's for fracking, then he said he's against it. That can be proven as a fact. Those are statements that he made.
But
saying
with respect,
that Donald
Mr. Kingston,
Trump's a bad guy,
Mr.
that
Kingston,
is an opinion.
I think you're misunderstanding what a lie is. I mean, Joe Biden may flip-flop on issues. That's not the issue today. But flip-flopping isn't lying. Donald Trump has proven to be a teller of untruths, and I can catalogue literally hundreds, if not thousands of them. But it doesn't really matter what I think. It's what his own closest associates think. That's what disturbs the American people.
But none of those statements that you said from Mattis were a lie. Those were still based on opinions. Those were opinions that they had. We do know for a fact Joe Biden said he had nothing to do with Hunter Biden's dealings with Burisma and the corrupt company that he was on the board of. He said he never met with him, but we do know now that he did meet with him. In fact, there's even a picture of them playing golf together. So that is a lie. He said he did it.
With respect,
evidence is something else.
With respect, a Republican Senate report into Hunter Biden's work in Ukraine found ultimately that there was no evidence that U.S. foreign policy had been influenced by it. So I'm not really sure quite how far you're going to get with that argument. But let us stick with you and your party.
Stephen, I don't think that's what that statement said.
Hang on.
The Republican Senate did not come up with that conclusion, and they're going to take another look at it now that we have these emails and more evidence about it.
So they may take another look at it, but I'm telling you what their first report said. But let us not get stuck on that, because the point about you, Mr. Kingston, is that you're here to tell me why Americans should vote for Donald Trump. And I'm telling you that there are many people in your own party, in your own party right now, including serving democratically elected senators like Ben Sasse, who basically say Donald Trump is unfit, and I'm going to quote his fairly graphic words recently: the president kisses dictators' butts, he flirts with white supremacists. And people like Ben Sasse say that if your party sticks with Trump over the next, well, let's face it, you're bound to now, you're tied to him, but it is going to be, in Ben Sasse's words, disastrous for you at the polls. It could see you taking a terrible beating in the U.S. Congress, not just in the White House.
Well, I'm glad that our party is big enough to have critics in the family. Ben Sasse has always consistently been one. That's Ben Sasse being Ben Sasse. He likes that independent streaks. He'll say the same thing about Democrats as well. One of the things that I learned out of my 22 years of service is if you want to be a hero, criticize the institution and criticize your colleagues, and then you're always the darling of the press for the day, or the darling of the other party, and that's unfortunate. But here's what we do know under Donald Trump. When he assumed office, ISIS had an area the size of the state of Rhode Island. ISIS now has been reduced. We are at peace. We're trying to end the endless wars, which America still has troops on the ground in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's a good thing. I'd love to have more international support when it comes with dealing with Syria, but he has not been a warmonger. What we have seen under Biden was bombing in Libya, and I still don't know why we were in Libya. Why, Gaddafi was a bad guy. Does that mean we need to go bomb all the dictators because that's how Joe Biden and Barack Obama see the world? I don't think so.
It's interesting when you turn the argument. It's interesting, Mr. Kingston, when you turn the argument to national security. I'm just mindful that 500 recently